Hi, in this video we're going to take a look at the third exponent law, which is the zero exponent law. This is probably the easiest exponent law. When you have a zero exponent, the base becomes 1. So this sometimes happens when we simplify, we end up with a zero exponent. So if we look at this example, 2 cubed divided by 2 cubed, the base is the same. So we keep the base and we're dividing, so we're going to subtract these exponents. So that gives us 3 minus 3, which ends up being 2 to the power of 0. When this happens, it automatically shifts to be 1. So any number to the power of 0, whether it's positive or negative, becomes 1. So let's look at these examples below. We have 5 to the power of 0, that equals 1. We have negative 2, all in brackets, to the power of 0, that equals 1. But then we have these pesky ones we have to remember. Here we have negative 5 to the power of 0. The base is 5. The negative is hanging out there, wanting to come to the answer. So 5 to the power of 0 is 1, but that negative gets brought forward. That's a negative 1. For this last one, we've got negative 25 to the power of 0. That equals 1, but again we have this extra sign waiting. So this becomes a negative carried forward, and then negative 25 to the power of 0 is 1, so the answer is negative 1. So that's the thing. Some of them are straightforward. Some of them can make you a little cross-eyed and start to second guess yourself. Just be patient. Take a look at the base and take a look at that zero exponent. So for A, we have 4 to the power of 0. That's just 1. For B, we have negative 4 all wrapped into the power of 0. 1. For C, we have 4 to the power of 0, but a negative sign floating out in front. This is negative 1. For D, even though we don't have brackets, that zero exponent is only belonging to the 4. Again, that negative sign is brought forward, negative 1. For E, negative 4 to the power of 0 is 1, but again, check out that negative sign floating out front. For F, we have a numerator and denominator. The numerator is 4 to the power of 0, that equals 1. Denominator is just 5. Our result is 1/5. For G, the entire fraction is to the power of 0. It's equal to 1. And for H, we have a coefficient 4 with m to the power of 0. M to the power of 0 becomes 1. So we have 4 multiplied to 1. We need to be careful with these ones with coefficients. So this is 4 multiplied to 1. Our final answer here is 4 simplified. This question on page 135 applies everything that we've learned in these 3 lessons: product law, quotient law, and the zero law. So let's get started. We have 2 fractions being multiplied to one another. Down in the denominator of our first fraction, we can put a 1 coefficient in front, and we can do the same on the second fraction. Just to keep our coefficients there, we know that the invisible coefficient is 1. Right away, we can see that we have some zero exponents. So what happens there is that those actually go away because they become 1. So it's just like 3 multiplied to 1. So we can eliminate that. 1z to the power of 0 is 1 times 1. So we can get rid of those right away. We have no coefficients to cross-reduce, so we can go forward multiplying our numerators, adding exponents, multiplying denominators, adding exponents. Here we go. 3 times 2 for our numerator is 6. And then we can take whatever we can combine. There's not much. We've got x to the power of 4 just by itself over there. And then we have y squared multiplied to y to the power of 1. We add those exponents. That's y to the power of 3. And then we have z to the power of 4. So that's our numerator multiplied. Denominator, 1 times 1 is 1. And that's it. X squared, y, z squared. That all gets brought because that's all multiplied to 1, right? So now we have quotient law. The division for our coefficients is simple. 6 divided by 1 is just 6. And now we need to apply exponents. We are going to subtract our exponents for like bases. So x to the power of 4 divided by x squared. 4 minus 2 is 2. Y to the power of 3 divided by y to the power of 1. 3 minus 1 is 2, y squared. Z to the power of 4 divided by z squared. 4 minus 2 is z to the power of 2. Simplified, this polynomial is 6x squared y squared z squared. For more practice on product law, quotient law, and zero law, you can check out pages 136 to 140 in your workbook.